Alright, folks. I'm kind of wondering what's happening around here, as it seems as though we can start calling this the Syracuse Swoon. See, I kind of knew once SU got to ACC play that maybe some of their weaknesses would start to be exposed. And I will say, yes, SU has kind of been exposed. Because look what's happened. After winning their opening game in ACC play, they've lost their last four. And that includes the losses against Virginia and also Florida State, which went into double overtime, but turned out to be one of the most exciting games in recent memory. And Tyus Battle having one of the top 10 scoring games in Syracuse history. But the thing is, like I said, the weaknesses have pretty much decided to be exposed, especially the lack of depth, because one of the preferred walk-ons had to come in when they started fouling out of the game. But I mean, this is very un-Syracuse-like, and it's very troubling. You kind of knew that these couple of years would be kind of thin, especially with the NCAA sanctions going on, but you never knew it'd be like this. At least next year, we finally will have the recruits to come in. But I mean, right now, me and a lot of Syracuse fans are worried. Because, we're wondering, is Syracuse going to make the tournament? Is Syracuse going to even make postseason play the way they're playing right now? Of course, the next few games, if you can call it, we can get a break. Because we got Pitt coming up twice. And we've also got Boston College. But this is really troubling, SU fans. Really troubling to me. I mean, Battle, good job. Plus, I mean, it seemed as though Washington did start to come out of his little thing a bit. And Matthew Moyer got significant playing time. Although the thing is, he did foul out after just playing like maybe 10 minutes or so. Well, whatever. We gotta change and change fast, especially letting Florida State's big man dunk on us like we were a cup of coffee. I mean, come on, guys. This is very un-Syracuse-like. This is troubling. We gotta get going. And I go from talking about Syracuse to talking about the NFL playoffs. A lot of people are still talking about the miracle at Minneapolis. What a heck of a final play. Case Keenum, I mean, he'd kind of been a journeyman quarterback for a long time. And I mean, he comes to Minnesota because, I mean, he was going to back up Sam Bradford and Teddy Bridgewater wasn't ready to play again. But Keenum comes in and he has a breakout season playing for the Vikings. And it looked as though the Vikings were going to go down to defeat to Drew Brees and the Saints. But Keenum heaves a pass there and Stephon Diggs catches it. And you kind of wonder, was Diggs just going to go out of bounds or whatever? But instead, he makes a move and a New Orleans guy, the Williams, couldn't make the tackle. And what happens? Diggs runs into the end zone on the final play of the game. Gives Minnesota the win. I mean, it's like it seems as though the playoffs are ones for named plays, like the Immaculate Reception, and also the Music City Miracle, which I like to call the Forward Pass. Well, whatever. Heck of an end to a game, and Minnesota is still on track to maybe be the first team to host a Super Bowl game, because Super Bowl 52 is in Minneapolis this year. And of course, a lot of people are still talking about the fact that Pittsburgh kind of overlooked Jacksonville, because that's what I think happened. Everybody thought it's going to be Pittsburgh and New England playing for the AFC Championship, but a funny thing happened. Jacksonville's defense stepped up and they also made fools of Roethlisberger and the Steelers on a couple plays. But you gotta give Big Ben kudos. He showed his grit, determination, and he showed some great improvisation. on his backwards pass there to Le'Veon Bell. And even though they came up short, it was a surprise. Doug Marrone, yeah, you kind of led Syracuse back to respectability, but then you kind of bolted to go to Buffalo. And then after 2 years, when you were starting to get the Bills back to a little respectability, you bolt. But because you knew Whaley didn't know what he was doing. Now you're at Jacksonville with Tom Coughlin being the director of football operations. And now you have Jacksonville 1 game away from the Super Bowl. Well, of course, Brady and Belichick and company are there again. And a lot of people are just saying, oh, hell, here we go again. Yeah, it's New England and Jacksonville. And for the NFC, it's Minnesota and Philadelphia playing for the right to go to the Super Bowl. It'll be an interesting Sunday, guys. Now I want to talk about what's going on with high school basketball. I know it's never nice to fool Mother Nature, but for 2 successive Fridays and Saturdays, Mother Nature has kind of reared her ugly head. A couple of weeks ago, it was the cold, and last week, it was the snow, and it's deprived the Finger Lakes and citizens around Seneca Falls, Waterloo, and up there in Wayne County of some good games. Heck, I mean, they finally rescheduled Waterloo and Bath to yesterday, and I think Waterloo may have pulled out the victory. Of course, people up there in Wayne County, they were waiting for the Route 31 rivalry. Yes, I mean, Minders and Waterloo around here always has been a great rivalry, but you want to talk about rivalries. The 5 miles between Lyons and Clyde, that can be a war zone, especially whenever Clyde, Savannah, and Lyons collide, not only on the gridiron, but on the basketball court. And I can say just outside of Clyde, part of Route 31 can be a drag strip, if you know my drift. But of course, I don't think you want to push your luck on that stretch of 31. But I mean, if you want to talk about a rivalry that's as good as Minders and Waterloo was in its prime, there's another great one, Lyons and Clyde Savannah. That was snowed out itself. I mean, we got 5 weeks till the sectionals begin, and hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate. I know, it's never nice to fool Mother Nature, if you know what I mean. And last but not least, I do want to talk about the whole thing there with Donald Trump. It seems as though once he tries to take a step forward, he takes a step backward, supposedly saying, why are we allowing people into the United States from these shithole countries? You know, Donald Trump, I mean, we elected you, but hey, sometimes you gotta hold your tongue. I mean, what does it say on the Statue of Liberty? Give me your poor, your tired, your huddled masses yearning to breathe. I mean, hey, just seems as though once you start making progress, you take a step backward. Come on, President Trump, you can't say stuff like that, even though I admit I elected you. But I mean, it doesn't matter from what country you're from. You're a good person. I think the United States would like to have you. But I mean, please, just watch your language. And I'm watching my language as I leave. I'm Ken Haas, and that's my show for this week.